Only the horizontal bar final to come in Cairo. 9 of the 10 apparatus finals have been completed.
And we are ready, ladies and gentlemen, for the men's final of horizontal bar. Please welcome the judges.
Judges making their way out onto the floor for the horizontal bar final. And while he didn't have the best of parallel bars finals, Colombia's Angel Barajas has an insane D score for this final, 6.8. But he gave up quite a bit in terms of execution and still qualified top. But this is his final to lose potentially. And watch out for Joe Fraser of Great Britain as well, second best in qualifying. The judges out. Now to introduce the finalists on the horizontal bar, or high bar as it's colloquially known. And this is the element where you watch a routine and sometimes you just hold your breath until the entire routine is done. The last of the 6 apparatus for men.
And these are the finalists of the high bar from Great Britain, Joe Fraser.
Going first in the rotation is Great Britain's Joe Fraser, who qualified second. From Chinese Taipei, Tang Chia-hung will go second. Japan's Tanigawa Kakeru will go third for the man who turned 25 on Thursday. Ilyas Yuryu, fresh from the parallel bars final into the horizontal bar final, will go fourth in the first rotation. From Egypt heads the cheer. Ahmed El Maraghi will go first in the second rotation. Marius Yuryu from Cyprus will go sixth. He qualified fourth. This is the man who qualified top, Angel Barajas, with that incredible D score of 6.80. And Robert Tvorogal of Lithuania, the 29-year-old from Vilnius, will go last. He had the best execution in qualifying and qualified third overall, did Tvorogal. Do not discount him, not only for a place on the podium, but indeed for a gold medal. The athletes, having been introduced, will line up in front of the judges. We'll acknowledge the judges and then onto the warm-ups and then the final proper. For each final, 4 athletes will go in the first rotation after a warm-up, and then an opportunity for the next 4 to go after a brief warm-up. Egypt's El Maraghi, Yuryu of Cyprus, a reminder that this is an Olympic year where apparatus World Cup points are awarded to gymnasts who place among the highest on each apparatus at each event. Gold wins you 30 points, silver earns you 25, bronze 20, fourth place 18 points, all the way down to 16th place, which earns you a single ranking point. The World Cup Series consistently rewarding consistent athletes who demonstrate excellence throughout the series. The final ranking points, though, take into account a gymnast's best 3 performances of 4 in the series. Rotation 1 sees Joe Fraser, Tang Chia-hung, Tanigawa Kakeru and Ilyas Yuryu go. in this horizontal bar final. El Maraghi of Egypt will go in the second rotation. There is much excitement about his performance. The man who sometimes struggles to deliver in finals. He came off on the final in Cairo last year. He came off the apparatus. But among the gymnasts aiming to qualify for the final, for some they're looking for individual places within their country's teams that have already qualified for the Olympic Games. 20 Olympic berths up for grabs through the FIG Apparatus World Cup Series. So the top 2 eligible performers on each apparatus in the series will earn Olympic berths. It seems as if the World Cup Series has only just begun. We're into the final apparatus in Cairo, one of the great cities of the world. And one of the giant mega cities of the world. A country with an incredible history. And this World Cup Series always producing history, whether it's breakthroughs, whether it's upsets, whether it's establishing status. As a gymnast, certainly Cairo has delivered. And in this Olympic year, it's been rather extraordinary that almost 300 gymnasts from over 70 countries entered to participate in these championships. That's almost twice as many as last year. Ilyas Yorio just with a final bit of warm-up before we get into the horizontal bar final proper. Joe Fraser of Great Britain will be first to go. Ahmed El Maraghi of Egypt, man from Alexandria, a city formed by the great Macedonian general Alexander the Great in years gone by, famed for its library, which has been rebuilt over the years and still exists as one of the landmarks in Alexandria. Chinese Taipei's Tang Chiahong, very talented all-around gymnast, just warming up ahead of this horizontal bar final. Joe Fraser getting ready. The man who has the second highest difficulty routine in this final, 6.0, but Angel Barajas has an insane 6.8 D score. Joe Fraser of Great Britain qualified second with a 14.300. He goes first in the horizontal bar final. And a man who's upgraded his routine and brings a new polish to Cairo. He has a very, very pleasing combination of release skills, does Fraser. European all-round and parallel bars champion in 2022, world champion on the parallel bars in 2019, three-time Commonwealth Games champion. Did spend much of last year out with injury though. Looking for some good in-bar work before the dismount. That is a very pleasing start for Joe Fraser of Great Britain, the 25-year-old. A big hug for his coach. Lovely from Joe Fraser. And there's a few from the crowd who've shouted down to Fraser. He's acknowledging some of those positive words. And there's some more from the young Egyptian fans. Joe Fraser, a lovely start. Great catch and release skills in his routine. .300 in qualifying for Joe Fraser for his 6.0 difficulty routine. What does he earn in the final? Just a little wait for Fraser. Tung Chee-hung of Chinese Taipei waiting patiently as well to go, but first we'll wait for the score of Fraser. .433, 6.1 difficulty. So a slight improvement in qualification. No, for an intensely talented all-around gymnast. Tung Chee-hung of Chinese Taipei, the 27-year-old, qualified 6th for this final with a 14.030. Only a 5.6 difficulty routine, but he did have the best execution in qualifying. The 2018 Asian Games champion. Just a single Kachev. Now the combination. Looking for a big dismount, and he's nailed it. Tung Chee-hung. He had an injury in early 2022 that took him out for almost a year. And he came back last year, and the Tokyo Olympian has looked awesome here. Some fabulous gymnastics on the horizontal bar for Tung Chee-hung. Beautiful dismount. Former World University Games gold medalist as well. Tung Chee-hung, Joe Fraser's mark, 14.433. Tanigawa Kakeru waits patiently for his turn to go. He qualified 8th for this final. He will go 3rd in the rotation. Tang Cheong waits for his tally, 14.030 in qualification. Tanigawa staying limber.
Tang Cheong is also former winner of the high marks competition of the Asian Games in
A warm embrace between Tang Cheong and Joe Fraser as Tang Cheong goes into top spot, 14.500. That's an improvement of nearly half a point in qualification. That's lovely from the Tokyo Olympian. And now for a man from Japan, Tanigawa Kakeru, a man who turned 25 on Thursday. He qualified 8th for this final, 13.830, the younger brother of Wataru. Two-time World University Games champion, three-time World Championship medalist. Took bronze in Hangzhou at the Asian Games on horizontal bar. And he helped Japan finish with a team silver. Beautiful fluidity. So important to get the catch and release elements right, but to continue that powerful swing throughout. He's going to go for the in-bar work now. Lovely fluid swing. Big dismount as well, and that is wildly applauded, and rightly so, for the man who celebrated his birthday this week. Is there a belated birthday present to come in Cairo for the now 25-year-old Tanigawa Kakeru?
He was born in the city of Chiba, 25 years old. And he's a 19-year-old daughter. Her name is Yura. Takeo Tanigawa is a member of the Japanese team that won silver in Liverpool 2022. It's the very first time that we see him at a World Cup here in Cairo. He's never done a World Cup before.
A really neatly executed routine.
We'll consider that as an incredible honor. First place so far for Tang Cheong.
And he'll expect a massive improvement from his qualification score. 13.830 in qualification. Ilyas Yuriu of Cyprus just warming up. Staying limber, a little chalk on the hands. And on the grip.
14.3.
Tanigawa, 13.830 in qualification.
To beat the man from Great Britain. And then Cyprus on the horizontal.
Tanigawa, 14.300, so he goes third, but a big improvement by nearly half a point on qualification. Ilyas Yuriu, 13.870 in qualification, finished 7th. the reigning Commonwealth Games champion on horizontal bar. Ilias Yoriu, 24-year-old from Cyprus, in his second final today. Gets off to a frantic start. Oh, just misses the catch. He may have landed awkwardly as well, but he gets up, thankfully, walking without any discomfort. His head drops, but he is a very fine gymnast who's represented Cyprus so splendidly over the years. Back on the bar to complete his routine. He's never won an FIG World Cup gold medal. But he's continued to impress with some very, very scintillating routines. And a prodigious talent. And a marvellous recovery after that fall for Yoriu. Ilias Yoriu, that is. Marios to go in the second rotation. He can take pride in that comeback. A little fist bump from Marios Yoriu for Ilias Yoriu. Look at the amplitude on his releases. It is fantastic to watch. Such a pity that he did take the fall, but showing just what he can do after getting back up on the high bar. Ilias Yoriu, the Commonwealth Games champion, 13.870 in qualification. Waits for his score while Ahmed El Maraghi of Egypt is warming up. He'll be first to go in the second rotation. And the Egyptian looking to delight on home soil. There's Marios Yoriu warming up. Four athletes to go in this horizontal bar final, including Ahmed El Maraghi of Egypt. El Maraghi, Yoriu, Barajas and Portugal, the four athletes remaining in this horizontal bar final. Ilias Yoriu, having recently concluded his routine. Rehydrating as well. Score of 12.900 for Ilias Yoriu, who came off the bar, so his execution score down by nearly a point in qualifying. Robert Furugal last to warm up before the second rotation begins. And that man representing Egypt will start the second rotation. One of only a handful of Egyptian gymnasts to make the final at this Cairo World Cup leg. Last year, Cairo was the final leg of the World Cup series. In 2024, in this Olympic year, it is the first leg of the series. The series will next visit Cottbus in Germany next weekend, and then Baku in Azerbaijan in early March, and then conclude in Doha in Qatar mid-April. And athletes, I remind you, are looking to continue earning qualification points to potentially get to Paris. But in an Olympic year, though, watching the World Cup series is always a delight. The process started at the 2022 World Championships. It'll only end after continental qualifiers in May this year. And continental championships. So, time for the final 4 athletes to go on this final apparatus final in Egypt, and it is Egypt's Ahmed El Maraghi. Ahmed El Maraghi of Egypt. On home soil, the 28-year-old from Alexandria, who took high bar bronze in Doha last year to claim his first World Cup medal. Set to take to the horizontal bar here. Now this is a gymnast who is very agreeable to watch. He's got a lovely supple swing. He's got some wonderful release elements as well. Cassina. And a few Kachev releases as well. Lovely combinations. Looking for the big dismount. And that reaction tells a story. A dedicated athlete has delighted his home fans. Ahmed El Maraghi looking to get himself on the podium perhaps with that routine. And for an individual who has sometimes struggled to deliver in finals, he has absolutely nailed it on home soil. Lovely form. His catch and release sequences so very assured. Looking for that full twisting double layout dismount. Over the years that served him so well. Now I'll wait for the score. Deng Jiehong of Chinese Taipei leads with 14.500. Bronze medal position currently 14.3. And unfortunately, he's just shy of the bronze medal. Ahmed El Maraghi, 14.233, difficulty of 5.7, but his execution 8.533. That's a good improvement from his qualification. Now Mario Suriu of Cyprus, 26-year-old, qualified fourth for this final with 14.130 did Mario Suriu. The first gymnast from Cyprus to win a gold medal at the European Championships when he took the horizontal bar gold at the 2022 European Champs. Also an excellent parallel bars and floor specialist, Yoriu. Sometimes goes for a little risk and reward. Generally lovely presentation in his routine. But this is a gymnast who is very much within the anything is possible category. Strong finish from Yoriu. Very nicely done. That was stupendous. Now in qualifying, he scored 14.130. Angel Barajas readies himself. Mario Suriu waiting for his score. So Mario Suriu watching on. He liked his performance, but he will go fifth through 6 gymnasts. Mario Suriu with a 14.233. Now for Angel Barajas. Scored 14.530 in qualifying, the 17-year-old. He had a disappointing parallel bars final, but this is arguably his best event. The teenager from Colombia. The man with the highest D score in this final by almost a full point, 6.80. Angel Barajas begins his horizontal bar routine. He's been working on a high difficulty series in his routine. Oh, his combinations are so very impressive. Is this his moment? The junior world champion on parallel bars and floor, but an incredible horizontal bar performer who's still making his senior debut at this World Cup leg in Cairo. The Kovac to Coleman combination, splendid. Angel Barajas, a man who aims to win Olympic and World Championship titles, maybe on course for a World Cup title. The mark 14.5 to beat. There's Marius Yorio, his score 14.233. Just look at his combinations. The Kovac-Coleman combination and then the Stolder-Kachev late in the routine. It's those combinations that really make the difference. Get him the high difficulty score and earn him the points. 14.530 in qualifying. He needs to beat 14.500 to go top, with one competitor to go. Robert Tvoregal of Lithuania will be last to go in the horizontal bar final. Angel Barajas, 6.6 difficulty in the end, a 7.8 execution, so 14.400. That leaves him third, and if Tvoregal can produce the 14.4 or better, he could displace Barajas on the podium. 14.5 leads the way. Joe Fraser's 14.433 is second. Robert Tvoregal now, the 29-year-old from Vilnius in Lithuania, last to go. He had the joint best execution in qualifying. He had success in Cairo before. He's won the parallel bars and horizontal bar bronze. That was back in the Challenge Cup series in 2021. A very tall gymnast, but he also generates enormous height in his elements. Well, he is majestic at his best. Tvoregal, the first Lithuanian artistic gymnast to win a gold medal at the European Championships when he claimed victory on horizontal bar in 2020 in Mersin, Turkey. But a good dismount for the Lithuanian gymnast. Tang Chia-hung of Chinese Taipei, 14.5 is his leading mark. Joe Fraser, 14.433 and 14.400 for Angel Barajas of Colombia. Tvoregal usually connected Kachev release skills. So Tvoregal, 14.130 in qualification as he qualified third, but to go into third position here he'd need to beat 14.400, and 14.233. Torgal finishes fifth, and that means gold to Tang Cheong of Chinese Taipei. Joe Fraser takes silver, and Angel Barajas of Colombia a very fine bronze medal. Josimar Calvo, one of the legends of Colombian gymnastics, comes over to congratulate Barajas. El Maraghi of Egypt goes over to congratulate the medalists. Here is the bronze medalist. The delightful Angel Barajas takes bronze, 14.400. .6 difficulty, his execution 7.8. Lovely combinations in his routine. The Konvech to Coleman and the Stolda Kachev. The 17-year-old is enjoying his time on his World Cup debut. And he's a medalist as well in Cairo. Joe Fraser with a thumbs up. Joe Fraser, 14.433, an 8.333 execution score for Joe Fraser. The 25-year-old bringing a new routine to Cairo and scoring well, earning him a silver medal. Another very talented gymnast from Chinese Taipei, Tang Cheong, 14.500, nearly an improvement of half a point from qualification, upping his difficulty to a 6.4 with good execution score. The 2018 Asian Games champion and Tokyo Olympian is champion in Cairo. Confirming the results of the horizontal bar final, Tang Cheong of Chinese Taipei, 14.5, wins gold ahead of Joe Fraser of Great Britain, who takes the silver. Angel Barajas with his first World Cup medal, and it's bronze in the high bar. Tanigawa Kakaru just off the podium. El Maraghi of Egypt, the same as both Torgal and Yoriu of Cyprus.
And here's the medal award ceremony for the men's horizontal bar final. Please welcome the medal winners. And we also welcome the medal presenters.
The medalists and presenters making their way out for the horizontal bar final. Medalists from Colombia, Great Britain and Chinese Taipei.
The medals, ladies and gentlemen, will be presented by Steve Butcher, FIG Honorary President.
Steve Butcher, the FIG honorary president, will present the gold medal. his first World Cup medal on his World Cup debut. The 17-year-old Angel Barajas of Colombia with a 14.400 earns him bronze. In an Olympic year, this is a big result for Joe Fraser of Great Britain, the 25-year-old, scoring 14.433 with a very pleasing combination of release skills. Joe Fraser takes silver. But a man who had the best execution in qualifying is top of the podium after the final. Tang Chia-hung of Chinese Taipei takes gold with a score of 14.500. A man who knows how to win. An Asian Games champion, a World University Games champion. An incredibly talented gymnast. But this is a star of the future, Angel Barajas, World Junior champion. In parallel bars and floor, but excellent on horizontal bar today. Now for the national anthem of Chinese Taipei. Excellence on display throughout the 2 days of finals here in Cairo for this first World Cup Series leg of 2024. It's an Olympic year with as much excitement at stake. Confirming the medalists in the men's horizontal bar final. Angel Barajas of Colombia with bronze, Joe Fraser of Great Britain silver, and gold to Tang Chia-hung of Chinese Taipei. And that concludes then the FIG Artistic Gymnastics Apparatus World Cup 2024 opening leg in Cairo. Do join us next weekend for the World Cup leg in Cottbus, Germany. And as the medalists depart, so do we. I hope you've been wowed by the great excitement in each and every one of these finals. Veterans return, promising youngsters enhanced their elite status, and new athletes have certainly announced themselves. But after 2 days of qualification and 2 days of finals, the opening World Cup leg in Cairo is complete. It's time for us to say goodbye.